As a man, peeing without touching your wiener feels like a total power move. The way you walk is your body's accent. Chances are, you did some weird stuff in someone's dream at some point. As a kid, the teacher's lounge is a mythical place you'd never see. As an adult, you realize it's just a break room. Samwise missed a perfect opportunity to make Frodo the ring bearer at his wedding. Thankfully, we can't hear our hair growing. There are probably tons of infamous historical figures who weren't even bad people. They were simply portrayed that way by the authorities. One of Spider-Man's abilities is moving around quickly by swinging from one, tall, building to another. He would lose this ability completely if he had a fight in rural Kansas and would have to effectively walk back. Hi. There is a chance we met somewhere sometime and we don't know it. When you jerk off, there is a chance that someone somewhere is perfectly in sync with you. The human heart is a timer counting down to death. Seeing fire, you're either in a very relaxed or very intense situation. Standing still in the street and staring into space will seem strange, but with a cigarette in your hand it is completely normal. Most dads are technically into MILFs. Viruses you get from porn sites are digital STDs. Maybe Newton discovered gravity while taking a dump, but to make the story more interesting and acceptable in the academia, he thought of the whole apple falling charade. Your parents are more closely related to monkeys than you are. Since a baby's age is only counted after being born, a fetus's age is technically in negative. There are probably millions of epic stories that were never written because the author gave up before finishing. Masturbating because you're bored is beating time. The further away we get from 1984, the more like 1984 the world becomes. The sky in the ancient times must have looked amazing. Skincare is only fun if you have good skin already. The 60s happened 60 years ago. You can see sunlight at night by looking at the moon. Candles are how we keep fires as pets. Introverts don't chat much because they are busy chatting with themselves. By following Satan, you are automatically guaranteed a spot in hell. However, while in hell, Satan will treat you nicely, due to the fact that you devoted your life to him. Therefore, by following Satan, you are guaranteed a spot in fiery heaven. Batman only goes out at night because he doesn't want a tan mark revealing his identity. Someone in the world literally has the biggest brain and there's no way to know who. 100 years ago, seeing a child play Beethoven was an experience you'd remember for the rest of your life, whereas nowadays you'd probably only watch about 10 seconds of the video. If Deadpool donates his organs to patients, won't the organs in the patient regenerate into fully grown Deadpool, hence killing the patient? Marijuana is a gateway drug to thinking you can rap. If small Mario and Luigi are regular sized, everything in the Mushroom Kingdom is terrifyingly huge. When you stutter, you lag IRL. The average human has less than one nose. Functionally, the skirt is more suited for men than for women. Red, white and blue are the colors of freedom unless they are in your rearview mirror. Sex is a low-tier summoning spell. One day, when we colonize Mars, people born there will eventually form conspiracy theories about Earth people not existing. If humans never saw the inside of a skull, our brains wouldn't know that they existed. In real life, you only get open world mode if you have the wealth DLC. If we had a tail, we'd use it to fuck each other. A pen you once lost or lent could very well be halfway across the globe from you. When life gets worse, showers become longer. You don't realize just how much dust you're breathing in until the sun shines in at just the right angle in the evening. There are usually husband chairs in woman-centered stores, but there are rarely wife chairs in guy-centered stores. On FaceTime, if one person turns off their lights, it will help preserve the other person's battery. We can communicate with our future selves, but not see them, and we can see our past selves, but not communicate with them. Together, humanity has probably had a continuous stream of pee that's been going on for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Since yawning is contagious, the first yawn has cascaded through time to the present day. A phone works perfectly fine at 20% energy. It'd be awesome if humans could do the same. Both world wars were started because of Austria. WW1 started because an Austrian was shot. WW2 started because an Austrian wasn't. The kids from the magic school bus probably have PTSD. For some reason, it's socially acceptable for a girl to wear a suit, but not for a guy to wear a dress. Phones and laptops are constantly aware of exactly how long they have left to live. Somewhere out there is a song that you'll absolutely fall in love with but you'll never get to hear. Someone has probably won an argument with you in their head. The person who named the waterfall was pretty lazy. Concentrating is brain squinting. People eat each other's ass, but won't share a toothbrush. We all get mad at our alarm clocks when they work, but even more mad when they don't. The glass being half empty or half full depends on whether you poured water in or poured it out. I'm fine is likely the most commonly told lie. A movie with 30-year-old music feels less outdated than a movie with 10-year-old music. No matter how attractive somebody is, they have most likely had extremely violent diarrhea at some point in their life. The only thing faster than light is the honk from the car behind you when the traffic signal turns green. If the coronavirus shuts down US schools, it will probably end up saving more lives than taking them. If we were carnivorous and all of our teeth were sharp, imagine how much it would hurt to accidentally bite your tongue. Ouch is for yourself, oof is for other people. If the Trojans had looked a gift horse in the mouth, it would have saved them a lot of trouble. You've probably seen strangers an hour before their death. There are people who can do spectacular things yet never become famous and millionaire celebrities who are good at absolutely nothing. We rarely consider how dangerous corn chips are until one of them stabs the roof of our mouth. There is a serious lacking of olives at Olive Garden. If we ever do colonize Mars, we're gonna have to come up with a whole new calendar. Seeing yourself in a mirror from 1 meter away is actually seeing yourself from 2 meters away. The brain could actually be a useless parasite and is simply brainwashing us into thinking it's important. If you are what you eat, then eating anything immediately turns to cannibalism. Someday you'll wipe your ass for last Tim with it Evan Wing. Every bottle of alcohol is a single serving if you're committed enough. Pickup trucks can't pick up trucks. If you ask someone out on February 29th, you can save 75% on anniversary presents. The closest thing to piloting the Millennium Falcon is to drive on the interstate while it is heavily snowing. Living in a van down by the river doesn't seem so outrageous these days. You take for granted how big your TV is until you watch one that is smaller. If you earn $7,000 an hour, every hour for the past 2020 years, non-stop, you still wouldn't be as rich as Jeff Bezos. He's worth $130 billion. You would have $123.8 billion. No one cares about how many kills you have until it's IRL. In a world of flying cars and teleporting boots, a train is a pretty inefficient form of transportation to magic school. Nobody who lived prior to the last 60 years actually knew or saw what the planet Earth looked like. Being dead is probably a lot like those 13.8 years you were not alive yet. Fossil fuels are renewable. You just need enough dead bodies and enough time. We take breathing freely for granted until your nose gets stuffed. The circular bed in Austin Powers would have had a fitted sheet that would have been terribly hard to fold. Your siblings are the versions that you could have been. There's dozens of different flavors of apples, but only one flavor of apple juice. All dads are motherfuckers. If a person is considered the unluckiest person of all time but still exists and made his or her way through all of his or her misfortunes, that person is also the luckiest person of all time. People born on the 22/2/2000 will have the ultimate 22nd birthday on Tuesday 22/2/2022. If gays have gaydar, why don't straights have hetero-detectoro? Noticing that you are stupid is a sign of intelligence. You could probably wake up from a 9-year coma and still not feel refreshed. To all other animals, the world is currently undergoing a human apocalypse. People don't see animals as actors, which is probably why we get more upset over an animal dying in a film, compared to a person. You don't realize how great a cell phone keyboard is until you have to type in a search on your smart TV using only arrow buttons. 11% is both 1% and 10% more than 10%. When hair is on our body it's unremarkable, when it's on others it can be attractive, but the second it's on the floor or anywhere else it is repulsive. One day there will be retro Instagram filters that downgrade your images to 4K. One who assumes homosexuality is a choice is admitting they could consciously become attracted to the same sex instantaneously. In the Star Wars universe there is a chance you get shot from blaster shot, which missed the target in a space battle, light years away and many years before. When we think about going into past we think about fixing many mistakes which could change our lives but don't realize that our current decisions could change our future entirely. No one disappears in the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Your clothes have touched you naked more than yourself. Going up taking 2 stairs at a time is no big deal, but going down taking 2 at a time is scary. In your head you can mimic anyone's voice. The difference between laddies and ladies is the D. Almost everybody has played bowling before, but almost nobody has ever held a bowling pin in his hands. Half of the planet has to sleep while the other half is awake because Matrix couldn't process so many actions at the same time. Pizza crust is a palate cleanser for the next slice of pizza. Maybe cats think that people are never happy because we don't purr. Harnessing electricity was arguably the biggest milestone humanity has made since controlling fire, and it happened within the last couple hundred years.